Okay, so now that we've been through all of the different types of factoring, we want to try to organize them. So here's the first thing. Suppose you're trying to factor something and there are two terms. Okay, so you need to ask yourself the question, is it the difference of two squares? Or might it be the sum or difference of two cubes? Those are the questions you ask if you have just two terms. So remember how these work. A squared minus b squared. Difference of two squares. A cubed plus b cubed. Sum of two cubes. Or a cubed minus b cubed. The difference of two cubes. And remember we have formulas for each of these. This is a plus b times a minus b. A cubed plus b cubed is a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. And this is a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So those are the rules that you take if you're looking at just two terms. Okay, moving along. So now suppose that you have three terms, which might look something like ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember, the trick here is to look at a times c, and we try to get b by either adding or subtracting two factors of ac. So we covered that in great detail a few sections ago. And finally, suppose there are four terms. Remember the trick here, we try to group two and two together and hopefully get the same factor that we can take out. So, that's kind of the organization of how we approach factoring. And I guess the one thing I should have said at the very beginning is always look for a greatest common factor. Very important to always take out a greatest common factor first. Okay, so let's just look at a couple of examples that summarize all these ideas. Okay, so we take a look. Hey, there are three terms. It's a trinomial. So what we do is we look at 2 times 15, and we get 30. And what we want are two numbers that multiply to give us 30, and whose sum is minus 11. And the two magic numbers are minus 5 and minus 6. So I go back to my original problem and I rewrite the middle term as minus 5x minus 6x, right? That's the same as minus 11x plus 15. So out of the first two terms I can take an x, and I get 2x minus 5. Out of the next two terms I can take a minus 3 out, and I get 2x minus 5. Let me just pause here for a second. If instead of a minus 3 you had taken a plus 3 out, this would have been a minus 2x plus 5. When you look over here, you recognize that, I want to make sure that this is a plus and this is a minus. So that should change your thinking to take a minus 3 out instead of a plus 3. And so finally now what I do is I factor it by taking out the common term, which is 2x minus 5. And I'm left with x minus 3. Remember that? Okay, so that's factoring a trinomial. 3 terms. Okay, so check this puppy out. What we notice right away is we have two terms. So, is it the difference of two squares? Heck no. But is it the difference of two cubes? Well, maybe, but hey, don't forget, what have we got to do first? Take out a greatest common factor. So here we go. And what you should recognize is you got a minus, and they're probably cubes. And just to drive that point home, this is 3 cubed minus 4x cubed. See that? And so I use my formula for the difference of two cubes, and it's going to be 2 times 3 minus 4x times 9 plus 12x plus 16x squared. Okay, that's my formula for the difference of two cubes. Okay, we'll make this be the last one. And what you notice is we have 4 terms. And that's generally a dead giveaway for grouping. So I look at my first 2 terms, and what I can take out of those. Forget the cardinal rule. What do I got to do first? Greatest common factor. So I can take a 3 out, and I get 4ab minus 6a plus 2nb minus 3n. Okay, so now I can go ahead and leave that 3 there. Out of the first 2 terms, I can take a 2a out, and I get 2b minus 3. Out of the next 2 terms, the best I can do is take an n out, but I notice I get the 2b minus 3. So there again, I'm happy, and as soon as I see the same thing on both sides, or on both pieces, I know I'm golden. So I have a 3. I'll leave take the 2b minus 3 out, and then what I have is a 2a plus an n. And there you go. So that's what happens with 4 terms, the grouping. Okay, see you next time.